Hello everyone, welcome back. So I'm using the Lenormand and I'm reading on were the soldiers at the 250th Army Parade, were they silently protesting? I'm still, I can't get the squeaky tanks out of my head. But soldiers, okay. What is the truth about what was going on with the majority of the soldiers? Were they silently protesting, or did they seem down for other reasons? What were they actually doing? Everybody was, even Trump was falling asleep, and Melania was smirking. She was smirking at him. Okay, so the tower has to do with the institution. Okay, the institution of the government and the army. The child is something small but important. Yeah, small but important. The lilies would be maybe coming from their wisdom and their purity. This is our card for soldiers, okay? Oh, on another level, the tower has to do with the soldiers being in their authority. And the mountain definitely is like blocking something. Okay, here's the pain that they're under because of Trump, the pain that Trump is causing them. The bouquet has to do with a way to, it's kind of surprising, and it's a way to have their own harmony within, but they were blocked in having to do what they, well, they didn't actually. There could have been conscientious objection. Okay, the woman. That's interesting. I don't know who the woman is. Well, I guess it's Melania, because this has to be Trump here. Unless it's the leader of the army. I don't know who that is. Okay, I'll just do these last two columns here. Okay, so I'm not seeing, well, I don't have the clouds for hiding something, but the mountain is even stronger. So the tower, the authority of the soldiers, the inner authority of the soldiers was shining brightly. And the soldiers were protecting themselves. I think the best way to read the woman card is that they were protecting themselves in a way that could minimize what they were receiving as far as like the movement of orders and all of that, because I can't say all of them, but I would say a lot of them, the majority of them, really just wanted to rest, didn't want to be there in that movement. We have to remember what everything that was on the news that had to do with the National Guard being federalized for LA, like all of that was out. I think they were bored. I think they were just really bored, and with the bear, on one level they were protecting themselves because this is like the authority of something. And the authority of the soldiers in their inner authority, but then the external outer authority, some at a high level, I think tried to motivate them. I don't know if there was a woman involved that tried to get them motivated, but the protection to all three branches of our government, the Tower card is the equivalent of the Hierophant in the tarot, but all three branches of the government and the way they were thinking, I think they were trying to protect themselves in any little way that they could, and they were really tired and just wanted to rest. I think that they were just exhausted here. I think it went on for too long. Definitely the fireworks were never ending. It was ridiculous. And the thing didn't start until 6:30 at night, right? I mean, well, I guess maybe they did that because it's cooler. That would make sense. But I don't think that these guys had their rest. I don't think they got their rest beforehand. I think they were exhausted. So they felt blocked. They felt that Trump is tied. They see him as the narcissistic, the malignant narcissistic monster who was just gifting himself. He was gifting himself, and they thought that it was wrong, very wrong. And they were weighted down by him. They were tied. They're tied because, I guess, he's the commander in chief. But they didn't like it. They didn't like it. And they couldn't wait to just fly the coop and go home. They really wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. But this guy's like an albatross on around the neck. So, but what they were doing was minimizing his authority because they know he's an asshole. They know he's a fraud and a liar and a con artist who has manipulated, who literally manipulated the whole parade, because he didn't have to say anything about his birthday and all of that. And it didn't have to be so big, and he didn't have to bring the friggin' tanks into Washington, D.C., and all at the taxpayers' expense, which they are taxpayers. And they wanted they want him out. They want change. So, well, that's interesting. So yeah, I'd say they were silently protesting, but also exhausted, and they don't like him. Wow. You don't get the mice and the fox and the bear. You don't get these three cards in the important, at the corners for no reason. And then to have the guiltiness of the cross, like they don't have faith in him. There is no faith. There is no faith in this man. They see him as the grifter who's taking advantage to fill his own ego, big fat ego. And they just wanted it done and to get over, get away. I hope they get some good rest. So, okay, well, that's it. Thanks, you guys. Bye.